I'm not a political person, but since I'm very interested in how the mind works and how fragmentation actually manifests in our behavior, the behavior of Erika Kirk really got my attention. Everything that I will say right now will sound like a conspiracy theory, so if you get triggered by that, just skip the video. But if you are interested, just my bold statement is she is professionally trained to work with her consciousness. She is consciously can lean into certain parts of herself, personas that were consciously and professionally created for different purposes. And she's basically a walking, talking weapon, as I see her, because since she's able to work with her consciousness directly and switch between different parts and behave differently, we can't really know who she really is and what her real motives are. And what made me think about that, of course, is her behavior after losing her husband. Because obviously everyone grieves differently, but we can all presume that if you are more or less standard person, there will be a certain period of grief. Just even in my case, despite the fact that I was in abusive relationships for 10 years, but still there was this period there where I cried a lot, where I grieved a lot, despite the fact that I had all the necessary tools to deal with that. But of course I wasn't professionally trained. But in her case, I can see how easily she can switch between roles, between different identities, if you can say that. Since there is no lag and no emotional baggage between those parts, I can safely assume that she does it consciously, or at least she was trained well enough not to carry this emotional baggage. Or what also made me think that she was professionally trained is the series of interviews that I listened, abuse survivors, trauma survivors, human trafficking survivors, and some of them really shared very interesting things about how they were trained. They were trained to play certain roles and to really believe that this role is who they are and that they really want to do things that they are set to do, because the person that is trained, this conscious training is based on his individual personality, and everything that he's playing outside is based on everything that is basically inside, but it is turned into an external weapon. There is this very specific survivor, I don't remember her name sadly, but she was trained by an ex-Nazi military man who basically locked her up in some kind of a basement, but it was designed to be this Morocco, very posh house. She was trained to be the singer and it was her natural inclination. But as a singer, she was supposed to get information from very influenced people and then, of course, blackmail them. And I think that we can see the same situation with Erika. In her case, this operation and training was successful. That's it. And that's why you can see her behave very strangely. It's not human because it's not human. She was trained not to be a human, she was trained to be a weapon. And that's what she does. It's sad to see that military managed to get hold on our consciousness, but at the same time, I do believe that only spirituality can really help us to combat that. But how, you will ask? That's where awakening comes into play.